How's it going, everybody? Let's talk spiral traps. I'm gonna just jump right in and go down the list of the traps. My opinions, tell me what you think. Let's dive in. The train trap. This is the opening trap. This is the one that they released the first 3 minutes of. I thought this was very well shot. It felt Saw. They put just enough of that sped up footage that we know from the Saw movies. I felt like it worked well. The lighting was great. The blood and everything looked good. I didn't see, there probably was, but I didn't see any CGI blood. I love theatrical blood when it comes to horror movies. I can't stand CGI blood, so the blood looked thick, it looked dark, it looked painful, and I enjoy that. I liked the fact that we used a train as part of the trap. I like that we got to see the full impact, and it was a great opening to the movie. I also enjoy the fact that his trap was related to why he was in it. The fact that he lied more than anyone on the stand, and it was his tongue that he had to rip out of his mouth. I always enjoy when the trap is designed around the person's reason for being in it. I feel like it makes it feel more personal, and this one was fine. It was easy. It used an element in the city as part of it, and it was good. Next, we have the finger trap. Now, I originally thought that the mask that he had on was going to heat up and he had to bite down for the fingers to release him, otherwise his face would burn. But the reality of it was he was in a pool of water that was rising and would hit some exposed wires if he didn't rip his fingers off. I enjoyed this one as well. I thought it was very different. It felt like Saw. I love the winding of it. Again, I like that it connected to why he was in it. The trap element of ripping off his fingers because the man shot somebody unarmed. It was a little dark. I thought they actually could have shown more. Maybe it was the theater I was in, but it did have that fast pace that I actually do enjoy. I feel it was a good design. The water element, I don't know. I think they could have thought of something a little better than water. Electricity is kind of one of those, you're not getting a real good visual effect until after. It's kind of like Saw 5 with the bathtub. It's kind of hard to make that visually entertaining, in my opinion. But overall, as a trap that is new and feels like Saw, I enjoyed it. It's, you know, it's one that you can't help but kind of grind your teeth at. So it's fun. Next, we have the wax trap. This one is happening to the head of the police department, and the idea is she has hot wax dripping onto her face, and the way to get out is to sever her spinal cord with a blade that is underneath her. The problem I had was I didn't understand how the trap itself would know that the spinal cord was cut. Maybe the blade needed to be deep enough or something, and then the wax would turn off. I feel like it just wasn't, the trap itself with the blade connecting to the wax spigot it just didn't feel all connected to me. Visually, I felt we just kind of kept going back and forth, seeing the blade and the wax, and if anything, it would have been nice to kind of see it all connected as a trap, as a whole device. Getting to see the wax melting and really feeling the heat of it would have given us that more of a cringe factor. But so I feel like he kind of missed that mark in a way when it comes to making a good, effective Saw trap to watch. When it came to the end, peeling off the wax, that was good, but I feel like just kind of doing something like moving back and forth to cut your back or your spine just didn't really do it for me. All right, now we have the glass trap. I enjoyed the setting of this one. I like that it's in a factory. I enjoyed that it's broken glass. It felt like the needle pit to me. The idea of it shooting, you know, it's a slow death. It's gruesome. It's dirty, grimy. I like that. The lighting was really cool. The way that the light was coming out of the glass shooter, I thought that was cool. The problem I had with it was that Banks didn't really have something to sacrifice for him to get the man out. It was almost like he had to solve a riddle or just think hard about the key being in the trash can. I felt like that was kind of lazy. Now I understand the game isn't really about him having to make a sacrifice like that, but I feel like his skills should have been tested a little more. He should have had to do something that inflicted pain onto him a little bit, or something clever, a device that is linked to the game. I thought him being handcuffed, the lever I thought was going to do something, but then he just gets out. So that really led to nowhere. He didn't even need to be handcuffed. He could have just woken up. Overall, it was enjoyable to watch. I just wish that there was another element to it. The marionette. Samuel L. Jackson's trap. Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed as this being the end trap, this being the kind of twist trap. Personally, I thought after all was said and done with the new killer's little speech, I thought he was gonna give something like you've all been puppets, just pulling strings, dancing to your own beat or some shit like that, and then he was gonna hit a button, kind of like in Jigsaw, where he was just gonna hit a button and make Samuel L. Jackson kind of dance and do shit, breaking all of his bones in the process, like his arms wouldn't be bending the correct way and everything, and eventually he would just be completely ripped apart. The reality of it was that Banks had to release him because he was being drained of his blood. It just didn't have that wow effect for it being the last trap in the movie. Blood just being drained just didn't really do anything for me. Now, I suspected that something else was going to happen, and when, you know, the game was ending and he was being lifted up, then my mind started racing, and when his arm lifted with the shotgun, I thought, oh man, he's gonna shoot all these cops. And then they all shoot him. And I see the creativity of the cops being a part of the trap. I don't hate that. To me, just having blood draining out of a character for your last trap and then having him being hoisted so he gets shot, it just doesn't feel like a finale trap. It's not as visually entertaining as the end of Jigsaw with the laser traps, or the acid trap at the end of Saw 6, or the saw blades at the end of Saw 5, or the 2 pieces of ice smashing in Saw 4. And I'm sure giving it more viewings, I will find different things to enjoy about it. But as a first theatrical experience, especially when this is the first movie I've seen since Joker, I didn't think it would take that much to just wow me, and this fell short. Now, maybe it was because I had so much expectation. Maybe waiting actually had a negative effect, because it gave me more time to think and build these up. If it would have come out the date it was supposed to, who knows, maybe I would be happier. And, you know, time will only tell. But until then, these are my reviews on the Saw traps from Spiral from the Book of Saw. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click on the page and see if there's anything else that I've created that you might enjoy. Especially if you like Saw, I've got a few other videos. And as always, thank you.